Hey guys, James again with TFBTV. I've got the Ruger SP101 in 9mm with me today. This is a very elegant revolver. It's a 5-shot revolver that shoots 9mm. That's right, regular rimless 9mm parabellum, of course by way of 5-shot moon clips. That's a pretty handy feature. Of course you have the moon clips to keep the rounds from sliding through the cylinder, but it also helps, they act as speed loaders. You've got 5 rounds ready to go, you just jam them in there and you can keep going. 9mm actually lends itself very well to the snub-nosed revolver sector. You're talking about a 2¼ inch barrel on this SP101 in 9mm, and some 9mm loads will be more powerful than some 38 special loads. And in my opinion, the recoil is similar, perhaps even less with some 9mm loads. The model I have is a DASA, that is, it's a double action, single action. So double action, you pull the trigger and it will cock the hammer and fire, or single action, you can cock the hammer and pull the trigger. Now the double action pull, I'll say, this may be one of the only negative things I've got to say about this revolver, perhaps other than the cost. But the double action pull is very long and heavy. And it's not uncharacteristic for a gun in this class, but for a gun as elegant as the SP101, I would have expected something like what they have in the Ruger LCRX series. Now they're making a Ruger LCRX in 9mm as well, and I'm telling you, I've shot the LCRX before, and the double action trigger is one of the best out of any revolver that costs less than $600 or $700 for the LCRX. So I was kind of hoping that they would have something similar in the SP101, but unfortunately they don't, and I'm kind of meh on the double action trigger. The single action trigger, of course, is fine. It breaks very easily, and I want to say it's around 4 or 5 pounds. Of course, this is an all stainless steel gun, and again, I keep saying elegant, elegant, elegant. It really is beautiful. I even like the synthetic grips. Of course, the SP101 being popular as it is, there are a lot of grip options out there, and in fact, Packmeyer was kind enough, the guys at Lyman, to send me a couple of really awesome grips that I'll show you in just a second, and before we take it out on the range. That said, I will also say, I said I only had one negative thing to say about the SP101, but I've got this too. I don't like the grip screw on the right-hand grip panel. It digs into your hand. And of course, that's an easy fix, and that's not really that tremendous of an issue, but it's just something I don't like. The sights aren't bad, they aren't good, so that's kind of not a negative, but a meh. It's got exactly what you would expect on a snub-nosed revolver. That is typical channel sights with the black front sight blade. You get a decent amount of contrast, but they aren't really exceptional sights. Now, I will say this, you have 0 chance of snagging. It's a ramped front sight blade that's very low profile, and of course, with the gutter rear sight, you're not gonna snag this in your clothes, your pocket, or whatever. One feature that I think is pretty incredible on the SP101 in 9 is it's got a triple locked cylinder. This cylinder locks up like a bank vault because you've got a lockup point in the crane, you've got, of course, the lockup point with the plunger, and then you also have a lockup point on the bottom of the frame where the cylinder meets the frame. A triple locking cylinder is something you see in revolvers that cost $700, $800. So that's pretty cool to see. Now, I like the ergos of this gun. I've always thought that Ruger has the best cylinder release. It's a press in, and I've always liked it the best out of everything else. Colt and Smith & Wesson require either forward or backward action on the cylinder release. This one you're pressing in, which I find to be much more intuitive with a gun of this size. Now, I will say this, I've shot this gun before. I haven't done the introduction yet. This is the first time I've done the intro. I've actually put several hundred rounds through this gun before, and I found it to be very accurate, but I will say that the first copy that Ruger sent me had some timing issues where it would, if you were shooting double action, periodically, if you were taking too long to pull the trigger, then the hammer would lock up, and you would actually have to manually time it. Not cock it back?
It is. I just gotta, looks like it needs a little bit of, there we go.
There it is. But that was just a defect with that issue. On one hand, I want to make sure to disclose that to you guys, but I want to be fair to Ruger. In any event, they've since sent me a new one, and this one has worked perfectly, so I'm glad to see that. Something that bears mentioning, again, guys, this is a beautiful gun. I think if you're looking for something for concealed carry, if you want a tuxedo gun, here's your boy right here. If you want something that looks good, or if you just like all steel, go with this one. However, I think that the LCRX, it's lighter, it's got a better trigger, and I think that might be your better option if you're looking for strictly a concealed carry gun. But if you want something in stainless, or if you want something that's just flat out nicer, the SP101 in 9mm is, again, this is one of the most gorgeous revolvers that I've ever seen. And but you're looking at $550 for one of these versus maybe $100 less for the LCRX. Now the Ruger LCRX has the aluminum polymer hybrid frame. That might be a turnoff to some people, not as much to me. I'm fine with it. I'm not worried about taking it to the range and shooting it apart. It's a concealed carry gun, but the thing is, Ruger's got you covered. If you want all steel, you got it. If you want the polymer aluminum hybrid, you got it. So let me show you guys my impressions on the range. I'm gonna put the grips on this thing and we're gonna take it shooting. Very mild recoil. That's about what you'd expect. 9mm from a steel frame, but this is extremely mild. In fact, I was a little bit worried about the screw. I'll show the close-up video, but this screw actually protrudes a little bit, and I was worried about that irritating my shooting hand whenever I fired this gun, but it's mild enough. Here's the SP101 with the Pachmayr G10 grips. Looks really good, feels good, definite upgrade over the factory. All right, just for the heck of it, let's try a little Ventura Munitions hollow point, something with a little more oomph. See how it does. Not bad. I mean, that's what's great about this all steel frame. It just really saps up the recoil. And you know, if you are a shorts enthusiast, as you can see here, moon clips hook pretty well into an elastic band. So, pro tip for you. Let's try single action. Yeah, that's nothing. Man, shoots pretty nice. It's about what you'd expect from Ruger. All right, guys, so final thoughts on the Ruger SP101 in 9mm. Of course, I love the fact that this shoots 9mm. It takes these moon clips, which make it great and easy to speed load. And this, all in all, is a very high-performing gun. I enjoyed it. Jacques and Rustin, they were out here, my buddies who are the Rangers, they were shooting it and they absolutely loved it. So it's a great gun, but really what you have to ask yourself is, what do I need this gun for? If you want something that looks good and you want a revolver that shoots 9mm, well, this is your gun. But the thing is, I almost feel like the SP101 in 9mm is cannibalized by the LCRX in 9mm, which I think might be a better option for carry guns. So that makes the SP101 somewhat of a niche gun. I'm buying this one. I'm gonna buy this one from Ruger. I absolutely love it. I'm gonna hold on to it because, again, I think it's just so damn elegant and it really does perform well. I didn't like the double action trigger all that much, but I'm digressing and getting away from my main point. And the main point is, it really is a niche gun because it's for people that want an all metal 9mm revolver as opposed to like a polymer hybrid like the LCRX or an aluminum frame gun like the, say, Smith & Wesson Bodyguard series. This is for guys that, for whatever reason, insist on having an all steel 9mm revolver. And I know they're gonna be out there, and I gotta say, guys, I feel like a lot of people are gonna buy this, not necessarily for pragmatic purposes, but again, because it's neat to have a gun that shoots 9mm, this thing shoots well, and it just plain looks good. So yeah, it's $550, but I think Ruger's still gonna sell a ton of these, even though, pragmatically speaking, it does kind of fit in a narrow niche. I gotta say thank you to Ruger for sending me this revolver. As I said, you're not getting it back. I gotta say thank you to my boys at Ventura Munitions in Las Vegas. If they weren't a sponsor, I would still be buying ammo from them anyways. They're the best ammo shop in town. And finally, I gotta say thank you, of course, to you guys, especially everyone watching this video. Subscribers, please go down, subscribe. Patreon supporters, commenters, I don't even care. Negative, positive, leave a comment. I want to say thank you guys so much, and I will see you next week.